So where are you stationed currently?
Honorable Chair, I'm stationed at the headquarters, Protocol Department.
Right. You see, the tape that you heard, that you say there is cut and paste, is what we are working with at the moment. Who were the other voices on the tape?
Sorry. Honorable Chair, my good self, Commissioner of Police, Mr. George Alex Mensah, and Chief Bugri Nabu.
How does the gentleman called JB feature in this matter?
Honorable Chair, it came to me as a surprise because the conversation ensued just between the three of us and nobody else.
Is it the case, or is it not, that you prepared a meeting which should be held between Chief Bugri Nabu and JB with the president?
Honorable Chair, I want to make an emphatic statement here that on that fateful day when we had that meeting in Chief Bugri Nabu's office at opposite the Osu police station, we went there on the invitation of Chief Bugri Nabu. And if I'll be allowed to continue, Chief Bugri Nabu, I got to know him through the son. And I want to put it on record that I've had 3 different conversations with Chief Bugri Nabu in his office. First conversation was when his son, by name Prophet Emmanuel Tay Bugri Nabu, who happens to be my friend and my spiritual father. I was in town with him, and then when we were about to sign off from our mission in town, he told me, Commander, my father's office is around here. I want to go there and say hello to him. So, Commander, I beg you, let's go. So I accompanied him. When I got there, I was introduced, and the father was also introduced to me by Prophet Emmanuel Tay Bugri Nabu, who is the son, direct son of Chief Bugri Nabu. And then after the introduction, the two of them were conversing about one Aite. And this Aite, I learned, was the one who was taking care of Chief Bugri Nabu. You know, Chief Bugri Nabu is a grown-up. And it happens to most grown-up men. There are so many things in the house that he cannot do for himself, which I cannot make everything public because he is an elderly man. So this boy, who is taking care of him, says he has stopped the work he's doing for Honorable Chief Bugri Nabu. So having deliberated on the issue for a while with the son suggested that Commander is here. Commander has worked in Mamprobi and is very nice with the Mamprobi people. And I'm sure even Aite might know him. So why don't we let Commander Sari call Aite and speak to him to rescind his decision? They ended up giving me Aite's contact number. I called him in their presence and then told him what I've heard from Alaji. And I've been asked to intervene. So Aite also gave me his side of the story. And what he told me, I cannot make it public because it is unpleasant. It is highly unpleasant. And this is an elderly man's matter that I'm talking about here. If you go and spew such things about my elderly father, I wouldn't be fine with you. So, with your indulgence, I wouldn't go there. That was the end. We exchanged pleasantries and then exchanged contacts. I left his office.
Okay, so what was the other meeting? This is a domestic one. What is the other meeting?
The other meeting, I was there one day. Chief Bugri Nabu called me that, Commander, where are you? Then I told him where I was. Please, can you come and see me? I want to discuss something with you. Chief Bugri Nabu, after his call, when he made that statement to me that I should come and see him for a discussion, I told him, okay, Alaji, I will come. So I went. When I went, he told me, after asking me about the progress of the assignment he gave me in respect of his assistant, Aite, he told me, Commander, they are looking for a new IGPO. So do you have somebody in mind that you can recommend? And I told him, of course, yes. So he asked me who that person is. And I mentioned Commissioner of Police George Alex Mensah's name to him. And then made him know about his credentials, his academic qualification, and the way he is highly respected among the rank and file of the Ghana Police Service. There, Bugri Nabu told me, oh, as for Commissioner, I know him. He has come to my house before in Dansomai. It was some boys from the Jubilee House that brought him to my house. And according to my investigation, he is on retirement. And I said, wow, retirement? Where did you get all these information from? You are not a policeman. Police internal matters, how did you know it? So you told me, oh, Commander, but we are also in the system. We know everything. Then I said, okay, no problem. So I took time to let him understand that Commissioner George Alex Mensah is not on retirement. Anybody that told you that, told you a lie. It is a total falsehood. It is not true. Commissioner George Alex Mensah is on his terminal leave pending retirement. That doesn't mean the person is on retirement. So I took my time to let him know the differences between the two. And then he told me that apart from him, if I go and tell the appointing authority and it backfires, who else can you recommend? And I recommended 3 other senior officers, commissioners. Number 1, COP Mr. Ernest Ousu. Third one, COP Mami Yatiwa Adodankwa. Fourth one, COP Mr. Tete. Mr. Christian Tete Yonu. And that was all. So, final one, the last one, that has brought all this controversy is that I was there on the 19th of June, 2023. At 2:13, I have the records. I have the records here, which I will tender with your indulgence when I'm done. 2:13, Chief Bugri Nabu called me that, Commander, there is good news. So I want you to come with
2:13.
2:13 p.m.
Which day? Which date?
On the 19th. On the 19th of June, 2023. So I should do my best and come with Commissioner. Then I asked him to call him because he told me you have his number. He has come to your house. But all the same, a big man who is a chief, well respected at the time, not now, has asked you to do something for him, not any bad thing. Not any bad thing. That come with your commissioner, COP, Mr. George Alex Mensah. I told him to call him, and he called again. He called again. The calls were coming one too many. And I was a bit surprised that what at all does this man need me for? For him to call me 12 consecutive times. 12. The last call was 5:57. More than 3 hours. He still wanted to see me. Never knew there was any malice. And I thought that just as he called me some time ago to go and told me something, let me go and listen to him. And then when I started going, I had a call from, I think I had a call from Commissioner earlier. Yes, around 4. Around 4 thereabout. 4 thereabout. That, Asari, where are you? We are waiting for you. Me, I didn't know anything. So I went. And when I went, if you listen to the tape, the communication was already going on. Because why I didn't want to go initially was that you wanted me to recommend somebody to you. The person has been recommended. The person is in the office. He has come. Me, I don't need anything from you. I don't want you to do anything for me. I am not a commissioner. I haven't gotten to even AC or chief superintendent to give me a course to have that idea, mindset that I'm closer to the seat. I'm nowhere closer. So the person that is closer to the seat is there with you. But since the big man, my boss himself, has called me, I have to be respectful and do them the honor. So exactly so, I went there, met them, they were talking. Then he asked me, Commander, what is your opinion on the performance of the IGP? And I told him my opinion. I'm done, my lord.
You know, this narration is good for us. But I asked you a question which triggered the narration. So let me read to you what Chief Bugri Nabo said. And this is the third meeting of the committee. And I'm reading from page number 7. Have you had the benefit of our proceedings?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Council. So, Council, get to the proceedings dated Monday, the 28th day of August, 2023. And then page number 7. And I'm dealing with the last 2 paragraphs. A little bit down. I want to quote what Chief Bugri Nabo said. I even promised Commander Ansah that if he would come himself, then I'll go with him to the president so that I would sit down and he would talk directly to the president. He told me that day he was traveling, so he wanted a man called JB, who is also a police superintendent, to come and join me. Okay. Okay. He would equally say the same thing that they know about the IGP. So they called JB on phone. He said a lot on phone. And I told him that Sunday, 3 o'clock, I'm going to book an appointment and go with him to the president. He said yes. He would be with me at that time. On the Sunday, I called JB and asked him to meet me at Afrikiko, and I'll drive him to the president's place. He said he was in the Eastern region for a program. I said, but you said you were coming? You people who came to my office for such an important thing, and now I'm going to be with you to meet the president, and you will not go. I was so disappointed. Brother Ansah, it seems to me that Chief Bugri Nabo is saying that you introduce Superintendent JB for purposes of going to see the president on the matter. What is your response to that?
Honorable Chair, that's not true. That's not true. Because I'm the type that I know how to present my issues, assuming without admitting that that was true. Assuming without admitting that that was true. I will be eager enough to go and meet the president myself. Yes, when granted the opportunity. Because how many people can have that opportunity to meet the president? Then I snap a picture with him, go and put it in my hall. That people will see that I'm also somebody. Yes, so I'm not getting where this is coming from. I'm shocked. I'm surprised.
So is it your case that Chief Bugri Nabo is inventing a story against you?
Exactly so, my Mr. Chair.
Okay. Members of the committee, you've heard your man. These were the few introductions we have to do. And now you have the space to interrogate him. Who is ready to start? Yes, my good brother, you can start.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairman. Superintendent Ansah, how are you?
I'm good, Honorable Chair.
You know, if I am on the mic, I expect you to be in a comfortable zone. We've known each other for years, and you know what I stand for. You know my level of integrity, that when I ask a question, it's not a personal question. This is a public hearing. The public wants answers. It's an issue that has attracted so much public attention. The public is interested. So to the best of your ability, you provide answers to the questions that are asked, but never in your dream think that it is Peter who is asking questions. Yes, Peter is asking questions, but I'm asking questions because the public needs to know. So you assess the committee to appreciate what we are doing here. Before I ask my first question, I also want us to appreciate the fact that the Ghana Police Service is not on trial in Parliament. The committee has a simple mandate vis-à-vis the tape that had leaked. So we are just going strictly according to the mandate given us. First question. You spent 27 years in the service. When were you in the Upper West region?
Honorable Chair, I was in the Upper region in the year when the 2012 election results was about to be declared. No, the election petition was about to be declared. That was when. So they declared the results whilst I was in WA, and I left WA in 2015.
Between 2012 and 2015, did you ever see or meet Chief Bugri Nabo in WA?
Honorable Chair, as I indicated earlier, the first time I met Chief Bugri Nabo was when his son, Prophet Emmanuel Tei Bugri Nabo, took me to his office that he was going to say hello to his father.
So the answer is no. No. Yes.
Thank you. Chief Bugri Nabo, in his evidence, told this committee that the first day you met him and he asked how you got to know him, you said you got to know him in the Upper West region when he used to come to Alaji Short. And Chief Bugri Nabo acknowledged the fact that, oh yes, Alaji Short is a strong MPP member, and he used to come there. So you can't be wrong. Are you indicating to the committee that this is not true from Chief Bugri Nabo?
Honorable Chair, this is not true.
For your 27 years of experience, can we help this committee and, of course, the public that is working, that is watching? How are IGPs appointed?
Honorable Chair, just as you earlier said, what I know is that appointment of the Inspector General of Police is the sole prerogative of the President of the land, of the Republic. And that is what the Constitution says, Article 200, Clause 1, that the President, in consultation with the Council of State, shall appoint the Inspector General of Police.
By implication, it is the prerogative of the President, as you said. Is it very okay to also lobby for the position?
Honorable Chair, this is my personal opinion, which has gotten nothing to do with the tape. But if I'm to express my opinion, lobbying has been with man from antiquity. It is not today that lobbying started. Lobbying is all over, everywhere. In some jurisdictions, there are some bodies that are called lobbyists. If you want them to lobby for you, you just engage them. You do the work for you. But I haven't lobbied for anything before.
If I may just come clear to the real question I want to ask you. Have you been contracted by anybody to lobby for him or her?
No, Mr. Chair.
If I may ask, you so much experience in lobbying, if in other words, you have so much information about lobbying. Have you ever
said so? That he has so much information about lobbying.
Mr. Chair, he said lobbying is as old as man.
Yes, he was making a general statement.
Okay.
But he's not said he has so much information about lobbying. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Let me reframe my question. Superintendent Ansah, in your experience regarding this matter under investigation, have you learned anything about lobbying and ethics?
No, Mr. Chair.
As a police officer, Chief Bugundabu's office is not within the police facility. You felt very free in his office to discuss matters of the police, to the point that you are even suggesting to him names that are clear for you, so competent to become Inspector General of Police should the opportunity to appear. Is that very professional to do?
Honorable Chair, it was a private conversation.
Counsel, if you may avert your mind to page 23 of the original transcription of the original tape. Page 23. I believe the third paragraph, that starts with Alaji. Alaji speaks. That is Chief Bugnaru speaks. Yeah, apart from him, there are two other commissioners who are also having their people watching. And Speaker 3, that is Superintendent Asari, he said, Enes and Mamitiwa. If I may ask for clarity, who is Enes and who is Mamitiwa?
Honorable Chair, these names have already been furnished the committee by me not quite long ago.
Okay.
COP Mr. Ernest Ousu and COP Mami Yatiwa Adanka.
Thank you very much for the refreshment. Alaji says, but as for Mami, and you came in to say, out, out, out. Why is Mami so out in your mind?
Mr. Chair, how this out came, I don't know about it. I can't say anything about it. It could also mean, because it was a private discussion, it was a friendly conversation with somebody that we thought was respectable. Out. When somebody is out, to me, is the person is exceptionally good. To me.
It is quite interesting that the context of the conversation, you were endorsing some recommendations by mentioning names. Okay? And Chief Bugunabu told you two other names had come. I think you were smart enough to know the system to say the two names I know. It is Mami and Enes. And Chief Bugunaru said, but, please underline that word, but, as for Mami, and he said out. Look at the context and look at the explanation you are providing to the committee now. But as for Mami, and you said, out, out, out.
Honorable Chair, for your records, I want to say that how this out came, I cannot sit here and tell. I don't know anything about it. And if indeed it was said, it wasn't up to any bad intention, but for a positive one.
Thank you. On the 19th of June,
Superintendent,
Mr. Chair,
let's establish something before you proceed. The out attributed to you, did that come from you?
Honorable Chair, I did indicate that I have no idea of this out one, but assuming without admitting, quote and unquote, that I did make that comment, it could be on a positive sense.
Superintendent Ansah, do you know the role of the police council vis-a-vis appointment of inspectors general of police?
Mr. Chair, I have never had the opportunity to work with the police council, but with the appointment of the Inspector General of Police, I have made it clear to the committee.
If I can recall what you said, it is the prerogative of His Excellency the President to appoint in consultation with the Council of State. And you and I know that the Police Council provides strategic and policy advice on matters of the police to the President. The question I want to ask, which role do you think Chief Bukrinabu will be playing to facilitate the appointment of an IGP?
Honorable Chair, Chief Bukrinabu, as we all know, is a politician. He was the original chair for the MPP in the Northern region. And now, he is a National Council member. And when we met him in the course of our conversation, he did indicate that he recommended the current IGP to the President. So he made a statement. And if a politician tells you this, as to whether or not it is true, you leave it as it is. Because I don't need any appointment. And I wasn't, again, as well lobbying for anybody.
If you look at Regulation 82, 1CI, and if I may read that just to refresh your memory. Regulation 82 of CR 76, in other words, Ghana Police Service Regulation 2012. 82. Right. Major offenses. It is a major offense for an officer to engage in an activity outside official duties, which is likely to involve the officer in political controversy. I am very happy you know that Chief Bukrinabu is a politician, and a very seasoned one as such, the former regional chairman of the MPP, a national council member of the MPP. Discussing matters of the appointment of IGP with Chief Bugrabo and mentioning the name of the executive secretary to the president, Mr. Asante Beduatu's name, in the discussions. Do you, in your own professional mind, believe that this will not stoke political controversy?
Mr. Chair, we would want to object to this question. It is our considered view that answering this question may lead to the witness incriminating himself. Because, number one, it is a legal question. Honorable member has already referred to the police service regulations. The title is Major Offenses, and he going to answer in that manner may lead to unforeseen circumstances. So, my Lord, we would want to object to it.
You see, my humble view is that he was just telling him what you should know. You know, he's a senior police officer, understand? So when he brings to the fore the position of the law vis-a-vis his conduct, he should just comment on it. Whether he wanted to violate the laws, you know, of the service or not, or what he said is something else. I don't want to have to answer it, but I do not believe that this can give him troubles. Because, bear in mind, the trouble already is on the video. Nobody's going to create trouble for anybody. The trouble is already on the video. The audio, sorry. And the whole world has heard the trouble. So, please, I don't believe that this is an unfair question and it will have self-incriminating consequences for Secretary Asari.
Except that, Chairman, except that, maybe Honorable Peter should lay the foundation. Whether, you know, those words attributable to him are true, that would then form the basis for the second question, because there's a certain assumption that he said them without first establishing from him.
You see, this is Superintendent. The reason why I'm quiet looking at you like that is that when he's saying certain things and attribute them to you, and you know that he didn't say it, I mean, what do you do? So if he comes out with an assumption and then you believe that the assumption is wrong, I'm not saying it's wrong or it's right. It depends on you. So, Counsel, I mean, I know that he's a very senior police officer and he has the benefit of two lawyers. So listen to the questions critically, because what he's trying to, put across is an assumption of truth. And whether you accept the assumption of truth or not is up to you. So, Honorable, would you want to probably rephrase and help him to answer? But trust me, if it's self-incriminating, we will let you know that, look, you shouldn't answer. But I don't believe this one is self-incriminating.
I'm grateful.
Thank you very much, Chairman. But Superintendent Ansah himself knows that I will not push him in the corner, that he will suffocate.
No, he doesn't know. You used to be a police officer. At that time, as if you are romancing a person to put him in a corner to suffocate. So I don't trust your bona fides, you know.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Let me lay proper foundation.
Is what? Amazing. Amazing. Well, but I can assure you that by my training as a criminal attorney, you should be careful whether he's not leading you into a blind alley. You have those things. This is what people use in tricking witnesses and all that, but...
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Let me just lay a foundation. Page 22 of the original transcript. Counsel, if you may just get it. Page 22. In the middle, after Speaker 3 says, thank you, Alaju continues, if I will try to read the tree. Semeka Chiremo se Mikura bomb. Ma two bomb bako. To wit, I told you I had a bomb. I dropped one. That is Alaji. And you came in to say, Mete se Odi bedia tu kra juma. Eye me say on kanokre enchirano. To wit, I heard he reprimanded Bediatu. It seems he doesn't tell him the truth. Alaji came back to say, we'll see. To wit, pardon me. And you came in. Me say, say, President no, di Bediatu ejuma, say, on he has not been telling him the truth. To wit, I said, I heard the President reprimanded Bediatu for that. For not, he has not been telling him the truth. Alaji says, yes. And Commissioner Mensah ended that page by saying, Bediatu does not tell the President what is going on. And I'm asking the question, you are a senior police officer. Here is what you said about the involvement of Bediatu on this whole matter. If you go to page 23, just the first paragraph. And then, Menina Nado, Wafasi, say Wunim, area mama. Or see, now everybody has put a blame on Bediatu. And the question now is just asking. The President's Wafasi, area mama, is coming into the picture. The Executive Secretary to the President is coming in the picture, and presumably the statement in there, which is quite dangerous, the President's Executive Secretary doesn't tell him the truth. And I'm asking the question. If you look at Regulation 82, 1C1, which talks about the ability to be able to prevent yourself or absolve yourself from political controversy. And as a professional police officer, I was just asking a simple question. Do you believe that this does not qualify that you stoke political controversy in the system?
Mr. Chair, I think this question comes in two forms. One, comment about Nana Asante Bediatu. And the second form is also about area mama. As no speaker, Honorable Chair, these matters were strictly private and confidential matters, which I did not intend to make it public, and I do not intend to do so.
Thank you. Since you do not intend to progress from that angle, and Chairman is quiet, it means that Chairman doesn't have a problem with your position. But if I may end, do you know how Chief Bugri Nabo and Superintendent JB met? Do you know how they met?
Such a, well, we want to object to this question.
about it. What was the question? I was being distracted by a consultant on some other matter. What was the question?
Chief Bugunaru indicated to this committee that you introduced Superintendent Jebi to him. But I was just asking a very simple question. Do you know how they met? Whether it was your introduction that qualifies for the first meeting, or they knew each other before you got them together?
Mr. Chair, we think that the question, no proper foundation has been raised in this question. The witness has already indicated that he never did any introduction between JB and Alaji. So therefore, asking, do you know how they met? It creates the impression that he has already admitted there was a meeting and he has to now explain how they met. We believe that this is not a proper...
Yes, but you see, this is not even a matter of law. You understand? The big man here should be able to say that, Honorable, I've never admitted I've met, I've introduced JB, and therefore your question is wrong in the first instance, and then you go on. They are very simple matters, though. You see, the legalities is what should concern you. But I'm sure he's very, very, very good enough to understand, I mean, if you like, the inherent contradiction of what he's saying. Because you've told the committee, I've never introduced JB to anybody. So you should repeat it. I expected him to say that, I don't know. So, Council, I think your client is very safe and very intelligent. And both of them are policemen. Yeah, so you should understand where he's going, you know. The police, they have a way of asking questions, but when another policeman is answering another policeman, there shouldn't be difficulty. Unless there's a legal trap, and trust all of us here. We'll protect him. You know the number of lawyers who are here? 1, 2, 3. We'll protect him. The great consultant too. So I do not believe this is a serious, I mean, question which is self-incriminating or, yeah, but I'm only craving the indulgence of my colleague to learn. And I'm also praying that Superintendent Asare is listening well. Please.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Before I land, you know, as the chair puts it, none of us here has an interest to incriminate anybody. No. Chief Bugunabu made some assertions, and if it had to do with you, it is an opportunity for me to put it before you so that at least you have the chance to say yes or no, because it means a lot for your integrity. Chief Bugunabu appeared before the committee and said, I spoke to Superintendent Jebi on phone in my office, and Superintendent Asare was there. Is this assertion true or not?
Mr. Chair, the assertion is false.
Mr. Chair, if I am permitted to stand down now, if I may come back later, in other words, this is how far I can go. Thank you.
Honorable Patrick Wama will have a stand.
Thank you, Chairman. I have a few questions, for Superintendent Asare, or Chief.
Superintendent, Honorable Chair.
Very well, thank you. You've told this committee that your closeness to Chief Nabu was as a result of his son being your spiritual father.
That is so, Honorable Chair.
How long have you known the son, please?
Honorable Chair, if I'm not mistaken, I've known Prophet for about 2 years. I know him, but that time he wasn't my friend. But since we had that bond, it is about 2 years now.
Just 2 years?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
I see. Does he operate a church or he's just freelance?
Honorable Chair, he only prays for me anytime we come into contact. And it was a friend that introduced him to me. That is a pastor, he's a prophet, he's very good. And ever since I met him, I've seen some changes. He's giving me some directions, and some of them worked. Yes.
So, have you... I want to yield to the chair for...
Yes. So, Lieutenant, you said a man should prophesy for you, and as a senior police officer, you didn't investigate his bona fides, where he was functioning from, and the rest of it. Is that what you want this committee to believe?
Honorable Chair, I know he has a church, but I have never been there. He prays for me on phone. Yes, and I could remember there was a time. No. When was that? The second time I went there. The second time I went to Bobie Nabu's office on his invitation. I suggested to him after our deliberation that he should help the son to get his own church. For according to him, he's following somebody and it's not helping him. So he wants to have his own church. So Alaji should help him. And Alaji asked me, as you told me, he prays for you. Does his prayers work? And I asked, Alaji, your own son, you don't trust him. Why do you do this? Just help him find his own church, whether his prayers work or it doesn't work. That one, we will take it from there. What he needs is his own church building. Yes, I remember I had a discussion with Chief Bogri Nabu.
But did he prophesy to you that you'll be taped? Or he didn't prophesy to you that you'll be taped?
Honorable Chair, even our almighty TB Joshua, that is known in our sub-region as most powerful spiritually, his church building collapsed on his church members and he didn't know. So it will be difficult for men of God to see everything. Sometimes certain things may escape you, as human as you are.
Honorable Bwama, you are in the prophetic. Move on.
I don't want to assume that responsibility, Chairman. So you had 3 encounters with Chief Nabu. 1 with his son. 2 when he invited you and asked for suggestions for a new IGP. The 3rd one was a meeting of the 19th June 2023 at 5:57 p.m. You said to us. Good. Where were you in 2012, 2016, and 2020 during the elections?
Honorable Chair, 2012, I was the district crime officer, Tesano, and Honorable member was my MP then in Iowa, Okankwe Central then. And 2016...
2012, I was a candidate.
You were a candidate, yes. You were a candidate, that's correct. And you won.
I
Yes.
did.
Yes. And 2016, I was in Mamprobi. 2020, headquarters. Headquarters, police, national headquarters.
So, you've never supervised an election as a district commander or a divisional commander?
Mr. Chair, the election 2012, I supervised the election in my area of responsibility in Tesano.
But you are not a district commander or the divisional commander then?
I was made the one in charge, the task force, the security task force. But the deployments and everything were done by my commanders, the district commander and the divisional commander.
Okay. This whole inquiry or probe is about suspicions of a politically favored Inspector General of Police who could influence the outcome of an election. That's why I asked you where you were in 2012, 2016, and 2020. Can you tell this committee whether that is possible?
Honorable Chair, if you repeat the question.
The discussions between Commissioner Ansah and Chief Nabu was to get a favorable IGP who could assist the government of the day in elections. If you listen to the tape well.
Mr. Chair, the question is now clear. The meeting that we had with Chief Bugri Nabu had gotten nothing to do or had nothing to do with politics. At all. And I repeat, at all. Chief Bugri Nabu invited me that I should come with him. My first invitation, unless, of course, somebody tells me, if somebody is a politician, when even he asks you of your name, you are not supposed to answer. Politicians are our brothers. They are our friends. Some of them are our mates. Like my brother, Honorable Peter Tobu. I cannot say Peter Tobu is now a politician, so I shouldn't talk to him. No, it got nothing to do with politics at all.
So, this mafia, supposed mafia in elections that was discussed on the tape, and you have the benefit of the transcript. Do you agree with that, please? Supposed mafia. Exhibit 1, page 4. I know you were not there,
yes,
but you've had the benefit of going through the transcript. And I want to find out from you whether you believe that in elections or organization of elections, as was discussed in the tape, there can be some mafia work, in quote, as was stated on record.
Honorable Chair, as you rightly said, when that particular statement was made, I wasn't there. But listening to the tape, if I'm to give a comment on that, what I have to say is that you have had the opportunity to see my work in your constituency. And Honorable Peter will attest to the fact that I'm the type, my 1 is 1, my 2 is 2. I don't lie. My 1 is 1, my 2 is my 2. What is good for the good is equally good for the gander. What you aren't supposed to do, I would never encourage you to do it, especially if I'm supervising or I'm part of the operational team. No way. Anybody that knows me will tell you. You can do background check about me. I don't believe in mafiaism.
You see, it's not that you don't believe in mafia. He's just trying to pick your brain. That's a serious police officer of long standing. Is it the case, or is it not, that in electoral competition, there could be tendencies of people trying to use mafia so they win elections? That's all he's asking.
Honorable, that is something that is supposed not to be entertained. It is not a good thing.
Yes, it's to be entertained. I agree. We know it's very wrong. But is there a likelihood, or can it even be the practice, based on your experience, that in electoral competition of the nature we have in this country, as who should be an MP and a president, some people could use mafia tactics? Do you believe in these things, or you think that is somebody's imagination?
Oh, Honorable Chair, mafia tactics we hear after elections. People complain. News, publications, you hear that this thing happened here, this thing happened here. And I see them to be mafia tactics, which shouldn't be entertained.
So you want to admit that there can be the possibility of the political players trying to use mafia tactics to get electoral advantage over their opponents as a senior police officer?
Exactly so,
Yes,
Honorable Chair.
that's all he's trying to say.
So, Superintendent, on that fateful day when you went to Chief's office at about 5:57 p.m., who were the other people in the office?
Honorable Chair, I went to meet 2 persons. 1, Chief Bogri Nabu. 2, my boss, COP Mr. George Alex Mensah.
And what was the subject matter for that meeting?
Honorable Chair, when I got there, the meeting had almost ended. If you... okay. When I got there, the meeting had already ended. And from my deductions, I saw that Chief Bogri Nabu wanted to tell us that there's going to be a possible changes in the top hierarchy of our work, and that it could be possible Commissioner will get a nod.
So it
as to whether or not he was lying, I cannot tell.
So the discussions were on who becomes the next IGP.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
And you had arranged for Commissioner Mensah to see Chief Nabu.
Honorable Chair, that is not it. As I did indicate, our visitation to his office was at the instance of Chief Bugri Nabu. I didn't arrange whatsoever for any meeting.
So, the entire police service, Commissioner Mensah meeting Chief Nabu, there couldn't have been any other officer to have joined that meeting than Superintendent Mensah. Sorry, please.
Honorable Chair, it was because I introduced or recommended him to Chief Bugri Nabu.
So you were the fixer.
Honorable Chair, fixer as in what?
The go-between Commissioner Mensah and Chief Nabu.
Honorable Chair, I will dispute this. That's not true. That can't be correct.
But you are the same person who mentioned the names of Commissioner Tiwa, Ernest Ousu, and Yohono to Chief Nabu.
That is correct, Honorable Chair.
So you were in the process of influencing the appointing authority through Chief Nabu for any of these four people to be the next IGP.
Honorable Chair, I was just expressing my opinion. Just an expression of opinion. Because I do not have the capacity to appoint an Inspector General of Police. I'm too small.
After that meeting in Osu, you met with COP Mensah.
No, Mr. Chair.
You didn't call him?
I cannot recall, but he is the type, Mr. George Alex Mensah is the quiet type. Very quiet, he doesn't talk. My honorable brother, Honorable Peter Tobu, can attest to this fact. That is the quiet type. He doesn't talk at all. Had it not been that day when he was seated by my right-hand side, I never knew he could talk like that. Even though he taught me at the police college. Yes. But that is all that I know. He doesn't talk. So for me to be calling him, no, unless he calls me.
You have a lot of respect for him.
That is correct, Honorable Chair.
And he appeared here and said that the police administration is not being managed properly by the current IGP. What do you have to say to that?
Honorable Chair, as humble and obedient servant as I am, who am I to sit in public and comment about the performance of my IGP or the police administration? I can never pass comment in public like that.
Excuse me. But would you be able to be honest professionally and comment on the performance of the IGP and the police service in camera?
Exactly so.
Well, so if you can comment in camera, then it's a good idea. We would want to hear you on that. So, is it not the case that there are about 19 officers at the inspection unit of the service instead of 4, as alluded to by Commissioner Mensah?
Mr. Chair, in as far as I'm concerned, that statement made by my commissioner was a statement of fact. Yes, Mr. Chair.
Is it the case that there are some officers due for promotion that believe that their promotions are being stifled by the IGP?
Honorable Chair, not quite long ago, I drew your attention to the fact that there are some comments that can be passed in camera, and there are some others that can be passed in public. Any attempt to make any statement in public that will seek to downgrade the very service in which I find myself, I will be doing in public, I will be doing myself more harm than good.
So why didn't you tell the honorable member that lead me not into temptation? You I just told him and then you...
I think, Honorable Chairman, for the sake of consistency,
Yes.
you know, the other day I had tried to ask a number of questions bordering on similar issues, but I thought the consensus built was that some of those things be dealt with in camera. And so I think we would have to be consistent here and oblige the witness the opportunity to make some of those disclosures in camera.
Yes. Thank you, Vice Chair. Honorable Boama, please continue.
Chairman, I have just two questions. So the decision is that the question of the performance of the IGP and promotions in camera. Thank you. Were you in Kumau for the by-election, please?
No, Mr. Chair.
Ansah North?
No, Mr. Chair.
That's about all, Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable member, and my brother who has a lot of understanding on agricultural matters. Yes. Yes. I don't know. I don't know whether you have been penciled as a minister for agri designate. Yes.
Oh, Eric, I think let me ask Chairman a question.
Are you suggesting
is that an admission that the break the 8th mantra would fail?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
I have to overrule this. You know. Oh, please proceed here.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Once you people break at 8, we will continue. Mr. Chairman, my first question to Commander Asare is that your narrative before this committee this morning is gripping but incomplete. You indicated to the committee that Chief Nabu asked you of your opinion about the performance of the IGP. And to quote you, you said, and I told him, is that opinion captured in the audio before the committee?
Honorable Chair, in my earlier statement to the committee, it was clear that the tape is incomplete. Whoever masterminded that tape, which of course you get to know it by the close of day. If not today, maybe, I don't know when the in-camera will take place. But before I sign out, you understand everything. I will end it here.
Sorry. I think
Yes, Honorable Chair.
I asked a very simple question. You have indicated to this committee that Chief Nabu asked you about your opinion on the performance of the current IGP. And you said you told him of your opinion. And I'm asking whether that opinion you expressed is captured in the audio before us or not.
Honorable Chair, this additional information as regards the tape that has been played here in about 3 consecutive occasions, there was nowhere in the tape that this statement was made. And you can allude to that fact. It is a fact. I gave it as an additional information which was not captured in the tape, just to make a point that the tape is doctored.
So you think that when the original tape is found, your opinion relative to the performance of the IGP will be heard in the audio?
For now, I don't know, Honorable Chair.
An opinion on the performance of the IGP to Chief Nabu. You did.
Honorable Chair, that meeting was private and confidential. And in confidential matters or private matters, let me tell you, Honorable Chair, for Christ's sake, supposing every conversation that people have in privacy comes to public domain, I tell you, in a matter of hours, society will come to a halt. If you hear what people talk about you in privacy, you will never come to Parliament again. I'm being honest with you.
Yes.
Yes, in privacy, so many things happen.
Superintendent.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
You are preaching to the converted. And you shouldn't be doing this pontification at all. We are aware. We are aware of what happens in private, But it's asking a very simple question. It's asking that you have said on oath that the tape is doctored and that you expressed an opinion about the performance of the IGP. Is it true or false? That's all he wants to know. That you ever expressed an opinion about the performance of the IGP.
Honorable Chair, that is true.
That is true that you express your opinion about the performance of the IGP to Chief Nabu. Is that what you're saying?
Honorable Chair, that opinion was in response to a question posed to me during the meeting by Chief Bugri Nabu.
So the answer is yes.
Yes.
So sometimes say yes and not add more. Yes, please.
And you said to this committee that you cannot repeat the same opinion here because of the cameras. Is that what you're telling us?
Exactly so.
And so the assurance is that if you are given the opportunity, you will do so in camera.
That's correct. That's correct, Honorable Chair.
Chairman, can I just a second?
A follow-up. Yeah.
Okay.
Superintendent Asari.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
I don't know why you struggle to simplify matters. Is it wrong for a police officer to express an opinion about the performance of his boss or her boss? Is it wrong? Why are you struggling to answer the question?
Honorable Chair, not in public. You can. In privacy, you can. But in public, you cannot.
Ask you a question about area mama. And there's a statement in the audio that is attributed to you. The statement says that, I would like to quote from page 23. Speaker 3, the first one, Speaker 3. Ene, mene nana do wafase, se wunim area mama. Or say now, everybody has put a blame on Bediatio. To wait, today, I was with Nanado's niece. You know area mama. She said everybody has put the blame on Bediatio. This is a statement captured in the audio as having been made by you. And when Honorable Tobu asked you about area mama, your answer was that it was a private conversation, and therefore you wouldn't want to make a comment on it. Do you confirm that this is a statement that you made?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
But you cannot disclose the details to this committee because of the cameras. Is that the case?
Honorable Chair, I have not said so.
Okay. Area mama told you that everybody is imputing the blame on Mr. Bediatio. Is that correct?
That is not correct, Honorable Chair.
But you earlier on admitted that you made the statement, and that's what the statement says.
Honorable Chair, yes, indeed, I admitted, but it was a hearsay.
Hearsay from where?
He's dropping. I was somewhere. People were having their conversation, and I also heard it.
Commander Asari, I read the statement being attributed to you, and you said, yes, it is your statement. And that statement says, ene mene nana adowo fase, se wunim area mama, or say now everybody has put a blame on Bediatio. To wait, today, I was with Nanado's niece. You know area mama. She said everybody has put the blame on Bediatio. So you are rather telling Bugri Nabu, Chief Nabu, and the COP Mensa of what area mama told you. Yes. And so why are you talking about hearsay? Because you are reporting a statement having been made to you by area mama.
Honorable Chair, I do not want to go into the details of this matter because it was a private conversation. It wasn't meant for public consumption.
Commander, I think earlier on, I asked you this question, and you said no. You said no. I asked you whether you said you didn't want to discuss the details here because of the camera. You said no. Do you want to change that answer?
Honorable Chair, I don't remember making that statement. I don't remember. Can take me back well.
You said that, you know. Senior, you should take it easy. You should take it easy and do not confuse an otherwise very good thing you've started. You've told this committee, I've been listening to you critically, you know. Your counsel is here too. And I'm always looking into the eyes of your counsel. That there are certain things about the IGP and the police service that you cannot say on camera. But when we have an in-camera hearing, you'll be able to say it. Do you want to change this narrative?
Honorable Chair, I still stand by that narrative.
That's all. That is where he's taking you. You can see? Yeah.
So you said it was a hearsay, and then you eavesdropped. What exactly do you want to tell us relative to this particular statement? What is the hearsay about this?
Honorable Chair, just as I did indicate earlier, that granted the opportunity to speak to this matter in camera, I am more than prepared to do so.
I just want to look at this issue of hearsay because I drew your attention to an emphatic statement that you have made. And then under oath you have admitted that indeed you made a statement. And then when I asked you further questions relating to the same statement, you said, oh, it was just a hearsay. And I wanted the committee to be very clear in our minds. When you talk about hearsay relative to this, what do you mean?
Honorable Chair, I want to remain on my stance that granted the opportunity to speak to this issue in camera, I'm ever prepared to do that.
Would you want to withdraw that hearsay comment? Would you want that to be withdrawn or expunged from the records? Because you have earlier on accepted the statement as your own statement. And so there shouldn't be anything like hearsay relative to this. Do you want that to be expunged from the records?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Okay, so the part of the proceedings in which the witness said the matters concerning Area Mama and Bidietu are hearsay, and what other word was used? And hearsay and what? And eavesdrop are hereby expunged from the record.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, these statements, or particularly this statement, is already in the public domain because of the audio. And everywhere in this country and across the boundaries of our country, everybody now knows that this is a statement that emanated from you. So I was of the view that looking at the way you've been explaining matters before this committee, you do yourself some good by getting the public to know what exactly transpired relative to this statement. But if you prefer in camera, we'll take it like that and then proceed. Then, just beneath this one, there is another statement. Bediatio and the man are like this, Dampare. He has been the cause of all the problems. So, Alaji, today, I want to hear something good. Commissioner is here, and he's the one, as I've already told you, every policeman, and then it ended. This is also captured in the audio as your own statement. Do you also confirm before this committee that this is your statement?
Honorable Chair, with the greatest of respect, I want to be silent on this issue.
It's whether you confirm, say yes.
That's what it's saying. That's what I'm saying. You know, Superintendent Ansah, oh, please confer first. So let the records reflect that Superintendent Ansah is conferring with his counsel.
Honorable Chair, we are done.
You done? Superintendent, please, with the greatest of respect, what he's doing with you, if you are not careful, I'm a chairman, I don't have to say the consequence of what we are attempting to do. You know, he's merely bringing to the fore what is on the tape. That's all he's doing. So if you confirm what is on the tape, say so. Yes, I confirm what is on the tape. But to dilate on it, I might want to do it in camera. Simple. But immediately you distance yourself from what is on the tape. So please, the difference is very thin. But be careful. Be very, very careful. So, Honorable, I crave your indulgence if you can ask him the question again to refresh his memory. And Sophie Ansah, do you want to drink some water? If you are challenged, we can excuse you. But if you want to drink some water, it helps, you know. Yes.
Mr. Chair, I'm okay.
You are okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. So, Commander Ansah, the question was a simple one, a very harmless question. That on page 23, just beneath the first statement that we just talked about, there is another statement that reads, Bediatio and the man are like this. Dampare, he has been the cause of all these problems. So, Alhaji, today, I want to hear something good. Commissioner is here, and he is the one. As I have already told you, every policeman, and then it ended. And I asked, do you confirm that this is your statement?
Exactly so, Honorable Chair.
So when you say he has been the cause of all these problems, what specific problems were you talking about?
Honorable Chair, I'm not ready to talk about this matter. I want to reserve my right to remain silent on it.
I know as a trained police officer, you have investigated into several matters, and you are trained on how to conduct investigations and get the relevant information to proceed with whatever you want to do. I hope you do not intend to hide any relevant information that you know from this committee. Is that correct?
That's correct, Honorable Chair.
And so when you indicate that somebody is the cause of all the problems, the name of the person is mentioned. In fact, Bediatio is a very prominent person in the current government. And so if he is the cause of all these problems, do you think that it will not be relevant for us to know the problems that you are talking about?
Honorable Chair, I insist on my earlier response.
Superintendent,
Mr. Chair.
he asked you a very simple question, that you do not intend to conceal material evidence from this committee. And you say yes. To follow up then, what you want to remain silent about? Would it be good to divulge in full and in honesty in camera?
Honorable Chair, with your indulgence, it was a rumor I picked, and I spoke to Alaji about it.
Senior police officer, you are very confident to peddle rumors. Oh.
Honorable Chair,
Yes.
this was a private
It
conversation.
doesn't matter. You see, I've never met you that we've had a private conversation, but I feel very offended that at your level of experience and intelligence, you'll be peddling rumors to me. We should be above rumors. We deal with substance and truth. That's what you should be doing, because the state depends on you, so we can go to bed. Imagine your intelligence on the way we should run the system is on rumors. It's fatal to our security, you don't know. Why are you saying these things? Do you want us to give you a break? Do you need a break? We are not in a hurry. Yeah, you
Not
matter
now.
to us. Do you want to have a break?
Not now, Honorable Chair. Let's proceed.
Sorry, you want to proceed?
Yes.
Okay.
So the rumor was that Mr. Bediatu was the cause of all the problems. Is that the rumor you are talking about?
That is correct, Honorable Chair.
And because it was a rumor, you didn't even bother to know the problems. Is that not the case? Or you know the problems?
Honorable Chair, the rumors have made my position clear, especially when he asked about the performance of the IGP. I told you in camera the statement I made. I will make it known to you. But if it's about the rumor, then it will be a most laborious task. We hear rumors every day. Every day we hear rumors. So if you make it a duty to investigate all rumors, then you'll be in trouble.
What about if you make it a duty to spread rumor?
Superintendent, when you heard the rumor, did you do any verification? Did you take pains to confirm what you heard?
Honorable Chair, it was a social discussion. So I didn't bother to check.
Do you regret peddling the rumor in question, given that you didn't do any verification, but put it out there to the hearing of Chief Bugri Nabu?
Honorable Chair, on hindsight, yes, because I didn't know that they were going to make it public.
Commander Asare, you gave a very insightful explanation about lobbying. And looking at the engagement, clearly you were lobbying Chief Nabu. You wanted Chief Nabu to ensure, to work towards getting COP Mensah, appointed as the IGP. Is that not correct?
Mr. Chair, far from that. That's not correct.
Leading member of various committees of the party. In 1996, after the unsuccessful attempt by the first flag bearer of the party, Professor Albert Eduwahi, to win the general election forum, nominated me to contest the 1996 presidential primaries alongside leading personalities such as Professor Eduwahi, Mr. J. Kufuor, Dr. Jani Selby, Dr. Kami Safodu, Mr. J.H. Mensah, and Dr. Jones Oforiatta. I was prevailed at that time upon by some senior members of the party, in particular, Mr. Akenting Apiamenka and Mr. Stephen Kreku, both of blessed memory, to sacrifice the opportunity to contest for the leadership of the party and rather support my senior colleague aspirants. From 1996 to 2000, I played a leading role in supporting the bid of the then candidate J. Kufuor to win the general elections and become president of the Republic of Ghana in 2001. After refusing appointment as a cabinet minister in the aftermath of the elections, the president then persuaded me to become MPP's first ambassador to the United States of America, a position I served with distinction. I was subsequently appointed in 2003 as Minister for Trade and Industry and Presidential Special Initiatives to implement a new paradigm of economic development, which I had introduced in 2001 on the assumption of office by President Kufuor. Between 2003 and 2007, I led the government's program for enhancing private sector development and ushering a golden age of business in Ghana. In 2007, I joined a distinguished group of 17 presidential aspirants to contest in the presidential primaries of the MPP. In that election, Under very strange circumstances, the electoral process was truncated on the day of the election on account of accusations leveled against me of influencing the course of the elections. This strategy was designed to create disfavor against me in an attempt to diminish my popularity and the massive support I enjoyed amongst the rank and file of the grassroots of the party. In spite of this unfortunate occurrence, however, when the votes were finally counted, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo came first and I was the runner-up. According to the rules of the electoral process at that time, the two of us were programmed for a second-round ballot. It was in response to this development that I made my landmark declaration that to avoid a further deterioration of peace in an already divided party, I would make the supreme political sacrifice not to contest the runoff, but rather support my senior brother, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to contest as the flag bearer for MPP. To contest as the flag bearer for MPP in the 2008 general elections. Despite the sacrifice I made to unite the party, as referred to above, there were very serious post-primary attacks on my supporters all over the country and an open show of hostility. Some of my supporters were victims of brutalities and continue to bear the scars of that treatment. I made several representations to the then leadership of the party, drawing their attention to the rancorous and divisive behavior of some elements in the party. Regrettably, however, my representations went unheeded. As a consequence, I gave notice of my decision to resign from the party in protest against the blatant alienation of my supporters, orchestrated by elements aligned to the leadership of the party at that time. The protests and reactions from the rank and file of the party at that time from all over the country compelled the then chairman of the party to constitute a reconciliation committee chaired by the then immediate past chairman of the party, Ambassador Samuel Odoi Sykes. The committee upheld all my submissions and prevailed upon me to rescind my decision to resign, which I did, with a firm promise to address all the contentious issues I had raised in my notice of resignation. Unfortunately, however, all the promises made by the party leadership were never fulfilled, and indeed, the divisive and hostile attacks on my person and my supporters remained for several years thereafter and have continued to date. It is common knowledge that any party member who is associated directly or indirectly with Alan Kyerematen is treated with disdain and considered an outcast. Fellow countrymen and women, I have endured all this resentment and maintained my integrity within the party throughout the past 50 years. On assumption of office of the MPP in 2017, under the leadership of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, I was appointed as Minister for Trade and Industry in the first term of the MPP administration and was retained in the same position by the President in his second term. During the past 6 years, I led the introduction and implementation of some of the most innovative and successful programs of the MPP, including the establishment of the One District, One Factory initiative, the establishment of the African Continental Free Trade Area (AFTA) with the headquarters of the Secretariat in Ghana, the development of new strategic anchor industries to diversify the economy in Ghana, including the automobile assembly and component manufacturing, the establishment of business resource centers and technology solution centers all over the country to provide comprehensive business development solutions to micro, small, and medium enterprises. The introduction of the new integrated customs management system, otherwise referred to as UNIPAS, which has significantly enhanced mobilization of government revenue. The establishment of industrial parks, including the flagship Greater Kumasi Industrial City and Special Economic Zone. The development of a national export strategy with a target of achieving export revenue of $25 billion United States dollars by 2030. And last but not the least, the introduction of business regulatory reforms and public-private dialogue mechanisms to facilitate government's interaction with the private sector. In spite of the limited budget put at my disposal during my tenure as cabinet minister, I was able to deliver significant achievements for the government and my country. Fellow countrymen and women, I believe I have served my country and intend to continue to do so. On the 5th of January 2023, I resigned honorably from my position as cabinet minister and declared my intention in a national broadcast to contest the presidential primaries of the NPP. On the 26th of August this year, I participated in the Super Delegates Conference to shortlist the 10 aspirants who had filed their nominations to contest in the primaries. I was selected as one of the 5 candidates to contest for the main presidential primaries scheduled for the 4th of November 2023. Fellow countrymen and women, after carefully analyzing the results of the Superdelegates Conference, I issued a press statement on the 6th of September this year, declaring my intention to exit the process leading to the presidential primaries. In the run-up to the Superdelegates Conference, the National Council of the party made some of the most controversial and contentious decisions in the history of our party. They rejected a petition signed by 9 out of the 10 aspirants requesting for the Superdelegates Conference to be held in one location, as well as to allow each delegate at the conference to nominate 5 persons instead of 1, in line with the provisions of our party's constitution. In my humble and considered opinion, the decisions of the National Council were both unmeritorious and unconstitutional. To make matters worse, it was absolutely clear, as I indicated in my press statement of the 6th of September this year, that the Superdelegates Conference was strategically and tactically skewed and maneuvered in favor of one particular aspirant. The level of intimidation and monetization that characterized the conference is unprecedented in the history of internal elections of our party. The subsequent decisions made by the National Council to vary the rules of procedure for the runoff arising from the Superdelegates Conference, in direct contravention of both the constitution of the party and the guidelines which had been issued by the Presidential Primary Selections Committee will go down in history as a travesty of justice and a demonstration of high-handedness by the highest decision-making body of the party, second only to the annual delegates conference. Fellow countrymen and women, I joined the new patriotic party at the very beginning of its establishment as a founding member, believing in its core values and the long-standing traditions of its antecedents, predicated on the principles of fairness, equity, probity, accountability, and transparency. I have devoted the best part of my professional career to serving the party, and I still believe in the vision of the founding fathers of the party. However, the NPP, as it exists now, has very little resemblance to the party that I joined in 1992 and helped to make. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The party has been hijacked by a selected group of party leaders and elders, government appointees, behind the curtain power brokers and some unscrupulous party apparatchiks. It was my fervent wish to use the vehicle of their party to bring my God-given talents, experience, and knowledge acquired both locally and internationally over a period of 46 years to serve our dear nation, Ghana, at the highest level of executive authority. It is abundantly clear to me that my services and contributions to the party are not appreciated. And that my continuous stay in the party will create further tension and divisions, which is an exact replay of the circumstances that led to my decision to resign from the party in 2008. Fellow countrymen and women, under the circumstances and given the context provided, I wish to use this platform to announce that I'm honorably resigning with immediate effect. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I repeat, under the circumstances and given the context provided, I wish to use this platform to announce that I'm honorably resigning with immediate effect from the new patriotic party to contest for the high office of the President of the Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. To contest. Thank you very much. To contest for the high office of the President of the Republic of Ghana in the 2024 general elections as an independent presidential candidate. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. To actualize this goal, can we have some quietness, please? To actualize this goal, I will establish and lead a new movement for change in Ghana. The brand logo for the movement is the monarch butterfly, which politically symbolizes change and transformation, hope and positivity. It also communicates strength, endurance, spirituality, and trust, which are all key traits that I cherish as a political leader. In Akan, it is known as Afafanto. The brand motto of the movement is Ghana will rise again. Ghana will rise again, which symbolizes hope for the future of Ghana. The new movement will be led and powered by the youth of Ghana. Out of the over 17 million registered voters in the 2020 general elections, the youth aged 18 to 35 years constituted over 9.4 million voters, representing 55% of the total voters. This is a constituency that you cannot ignore. It is acknowledged without doubt that the youth represent the future of our country, and yet they constitute the most vulnerable section of our society. From available statistics, 85% of all prison inmates in Ghana are aged between 12 and 35 years. This is profoundly alarming. Fellow countrymen and women, it is also worth noting that every year, over 300,000 graduates from tertiary institutions in Ghana, excluding those from secondary institutions, enter the job market with little or no hope of finding a job. Clearly, public sector employment is not an option with an already over-bloated public service. This phenomenon of a pervasive employment crisis is gradually becoming a national security threat, as evidenced by the recent Occupy Julobi House demonstrations. The initial reaction of the police in manhandling some protesters is not the solution to the problem. What Ghana needs now is change, which will provide long-lasting solutions to the challenges confronting our country. Fellow countrymen and women, I'm using this platform to introduce myself to you, the good people of Ghana, and humbly seek your support to become the next president of the Republic of Ghana. I believe with unwavering conviction that I am the only leader who can guarantee the economic and industrial transformation of our country, the restoration of confidence in political leadership, and the unification of an increasingly divided nation. My unique selling proposition as a leader is vision, competence, integrity, and action. The four dominant themes for this change agenda will be pursued, which will be pursued by the movement, are as follows. 1. Change the political status quo by moving Ghana beyond the duopoly of the two main political parties, the New Patriotic Party and the National Democratic Congress. This will break divisive partisanship in governance in Ghana and bring an end to the winner-takes-all political syndrome. In addition, there's a need to promote reforms in the internal democratic processes and procedures of all political parties, such as introducing one man, one vote to ensure inclusiveness and reduce the effect of monetization in politics. The principles underpinning our national elections must be reflected in the electoral processes of political parties in Ghana. 2, promote the establishment of a government of national unity, which would include people from all walks of life, irrespective of their political, religious, ethnic affiliations. Rich or poor, able-bodied or physically challenged, young or old, women and men. This will allow for effective and inclusive participatory governance. The movement will lead the formation of a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Number 3, build consensus on a national development agenda, which will introduce a new paradigm shift that moves Ghana from growth and stability to economic transformation. This paradigm shift will be driven by my Great Transformational Plan, GTP, for Ghana, which puts the private sector and the business community at the center of our national development efforts. 4, inspire behavioral and attitudinal change in the people of Ghana. This would include, but not be limited to, the following. A, enforcement of discipline. We as a people should appreciate the need for maintaining discipline in all spheres of our national lives, including changing our attitude to work. B, a war against corruption. Corruption, particularly from the public purse, denies our country the benefit of using our tax revenue resources for the development of our country. All sections of the Ghanaian society should wage a vigorous war on corruption through a combination of legal and institutional reforms, the application of technology, including artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, and data analytics, as well as maintaining societal pressure against corruption and leading by example. If elected as the president of this republic, I will sign a citizen's contract with the people of Ghana, committing myself to wage a relentless war against corruption. C, arrogance of power. As I've stated on previous occasions, the arrogance of power has been a major obstruction to progress in our country. People in positions of authority in this country must understand that leadership is an opportunity to serve the people and not to lord over them. In servant leadership, humility is an asset and not a weakness. D, passion for excellence. As a country, we must celebrate competence and excellence and not mediocrity. Advancement in the public sector, in particular, must be based on meritocracy and not patronage and protocol. Putting square pegs in round holes has been the biggest challenge for service delivery at every level in our governance structure. A significant shift in this regard will allow the best talents in our country, particularly the youth, to be deployed to achieve optimum performance in various institutions and organizations. E, solution-based thinking and a focus on execution. As a people, we must focus more on getting things done and finding solutions to problems rather than spending time on excessive and needless debates. F, making laws work in Ghana. The lack of compliance and disrespect for laws, rules, and regulations in Ghana is a major stumbling block for national development. As a people, we must commit ourselves to the sanctity and rule of law to ensure peace, law, and order in our country. Last but not the least, patriotism. The pride of being Ghanaian and promoting good citizenship, as well as patronizing made in Ghana goods, is a development imperative. Fellow countrymen and women, Ghana is at a crossroads, and the dynamics of our time requires a transformational leader. I believe that I am the leader for this time. I have already put forward for the consideration of our country the Great Transformational Plan, GTP, which will significantly deal with poverty and bring prosperity to our nation. The GTP is anchored on 10 pillars, namely, 1, building a strong macroeconomic environment which will be characterized by a stable currency, low inflation, sustainable debt levels, revenue optimization, tight expenditure control, low competitive interest rates, strong external reserves backed by high levels of liquidity to support the financial sector. 2, introduce a new agricultural revolution for Ghana, which will first take advantage of both local, regional, and global markets. Secondly, be driven by technology, innovation, and cutting-edge research. Thirdly, optimize value for farmers through value chains. And fourthly, promote economies of scale in agriculture through large-scale commercial farming. 3, promoting industrial transformation through value addition and the establishment of strategic anchor industries to diversify the Ghanaian economy. This will also involve the establishment of industrial parks and special economic zones, as well as the aggressive promotion of small and medium-scale enterprises. 4, accelerated infrastructural development, promoting private sector financing for public infrastructure such as roads, railways, ports, harbors, water supply systems, public housing, etc. This will reduce government's exposure to the financing of such infrastructural projects. 5, digital mainstreaming. Mainstreaming digitization in all government and public sector activities and bringing digital technologies to the doorstep of the ordinary Ghanaian. 6, energy security and diversification, placing greater emphasis on the development of renewable sources of energy, including but not limited to nuclear and hydrogen energy. This will require fast-tracking the execution of government's strategy for energy transition. 7, health. Expanding health infrastructure and services by enhancing private sector participation in health service delivery across the country. as well as improving the viability of the National Health Insurance Scheme. 8. Education. Undertaking a comprehensive review of existing reforms in the educational sector, particularly the free SHS program, to ensure optimum efficiency and effectiveness in its implementation. Government will pay special attention to institutionalizing the link between industry, academia, and educational institutions, and reinforce the importance of apprenticeship and internship. Considering the critical importance of early childhood education, the development of new interventions in the educational sector will be to improve basic education in all its forms and nature, including but not limited to physical infrastructure, learning facilities, teacher training, and curriculum development. 9. Tourism. Encouraging private sector investments in the development of world-class tourism infrastructure, and also taking steps to leverage the tourism potential in each district and region of our country. In addition, my government will facilitate air travel for tourists coming into the country by providing free visas, including visas on arrival. Finally, the development of the creative industry in Ghana will be the backbone of the reforms in the tourism industry. This will include, but not be limited to, the following creative industries: film, dance, theater, music, literature, and multimedia arts. 10. Natural resource management. Developing and implementing a comprehensive program for the management of Ghana's natural resources. This would include oil and gas, solid minerals, water and marine resources, and land and forest resources. As a target, there shall be no export of raw materials from Ghana in any form or nature without a minimum of 60% value addition by the year 2030. This will usher in Ghana's decade of industrial transformation spanning the year 2025 to 2035. 11. Decarbonization and climate resilience. Scaling up government's current efforts at reducing Ghana's carbon footprints and facilitating access to the carbon trading markets, as well as establishing mechanisms to strengthen the country's preparedness against the negative effects of climate change and climate variability. 12. National security and defense optimization. Deploying resources to strengthen national security and defense mechanisms and infrastructure to deal substantively with emerging security threats and challenges, particularly in the Sahelian region. 13. Downsizing government. Overhauling the architecture of the public service in Ghana by consolidating some existing ministries, departments, and agencies. This will lead to a lean government structure that will ensure operational efficiency and effectiveness in the delivery of government services, and also reduce costs to the national budget. 14. Strategic engagement with the international community. Restructuring Ghana's diplomatic and economic relations with the international community based on the principle of positive neutrality, with a focus on promoting the strategic interests of Ghana, as well as our shared commitment to humanity and the preservation of peace around the world. Last but not the least, sports. Investing in world-class new generation sports facilities in selected competitive sporting disciplines. In this regard, my government would encourage the participation of the private sector in the development of sports infrastructure around the country, including sports academies. The Great Transformational Plan, GTP, will provide jobs for the people, cash for the people. In conclusion, fellow countrymen and women, the concept of an independent candidate becoming the President of the Republic of Ghana, though novel, will be the most innovative and revolutionary development in Ghana's political history. It will indeed be a watershed development in Ghana. Although similar examples of this model have been practiced successfully in countries such as Benin in Africa and other political jurisdictions. In a country like Ghana, that is currently embroiled in divisive political turmoil, an independent candidate who becomes president will be a bipartisan and honest broker amongst different political parties and will bring healing and reconciliation to our body politic. Ministers and other key government officials will be appointed from all parties and shall also include and shall also include individuals who are apolitical but have a demonstrable and proven track record of performance in their field of specialization. Fellow countrymen and women, what Ghana needs now is a new leader and not a new political party. It is worth noting that the great nations of this world were built on the vision of great leaders and not on the back of political parties. There are multiple examples of such great leaders in political history around the world, including George Washington and Abraham Lincoln of the United States of America, Winston Churchill of Great Britain, Mahatma Gandhi of India, Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore, Deng Xiaoping of China, and Dr. Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana. In the current political dispensation of Ghana, under an executive presidency, the President of the Republic represents one constituency, only one constituency, which is the constituency of Ghana. While different political parties can contest for parliamentary seats on the ticket of their political parties, electing an independent candidate as president, who will lead a government of national unity, will not only bring harmony to the legislature, but also facilitate the approval and execution of government programs and projects. Who better can moderate and lead such a political divide than an independent candidate who has no direct ties with any existing political party? Fellow countrymen and women, I wish to use this opportunity to assure the rank and file of the new Patriotic Party that I still very much cherish my relationship with you, and I'm committed to the ideals of the founding fathers of the party. My decision to contest as an independent candidate will not destroy the party, but rather provide the party an opportunity to participate in a government of national unity in the future. And avoid the risk of going into opposition with no dividends in what arguably will be a difficult general election in 2024. You can vote for your preferred choice of MPP parliamentary candidate, but vote for Alan John Kojo Chramate. But vote for Alan John Kojo Chramate in the presidential elections in December 2024 to become the 6th president of the 4th Republic of Ghana. To the rank and file and sympathizers of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, and to my friends in leadership positions in the NDC, please note that if elected as president, I will also be president for NDC. You will be better off avoiding the risk of remaining in opposition if you do not win the 2024 general election. Rather, participate in the government of national unity by voting for Alan Chramate as president of Ghana in December 2024. To the rank and file and my friends in the smaller parties and other political organizations, including the national interest movements, please let us join hands to unite Ghana for our collective benefit. Fellow countrymen and women, I will in the coming weeks conduct a formal launch of my campaign and provide further details of my great transformational plan. Subsequent to the launch event and in the coming months, you will see me in your communities around the country, in your lecture house, at our music concerts, in our churches, in our mosques, on your streets, at the market centers, at the fishing ports, at our trotro and taxi stations, on your farms, and in every corner of our society. Thank you. I am determined to hear the voice of the people in this movement for change. I invite every Ghanaian citizen to join me in this movement. In particular for the youth of Ghana, this is your chance. This is your chance to take control of power and authority in this country and shape the course of your own future. Together, we will win and Ghana will rise again. Together, we will win and Ghana will rise again. Together, we will win and Ghana will rise again. Fellow countrymen and women, it will be an honor and privilege to serve you as the next president of the Republic of Ghana. God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. I thank you for your kind attention.
Alan speaks. Alan speaks. Alan speaks. Alan speaks. Alan speaks. Alan speaks. Movement for change. Ghana will rise again. Movement for change. Ghana will rise again.
Kindly be seated. Please be seated. We are not done yet. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly be seated.
Kindly be seated. We are not done. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not done. Please, we have a Q&A section with the media. Kindly be seated. Kindly be seated. Be seated.
Dr. Bobie, I sideline no. But so 7 years, so we are part and parcel of some mess predicament a Ghana for them. So any reasonable human being, obi o ye pe onimu nyansa desumi yes no Kwabena, we a leader wa party mu a. Se onton wo wadwene pa Kwabena, wo president obi ti say Dr. Bobie say o me lead MPP party da. Allah need Bawumia. Why what credibility? Dr. Bobie any credibility bia o Ghana ha bi. Only credibility. Okay, say, how much you
catch them and say, Bawumia, the bush, the moment to a bank, bush, a penny crown,
it is a Alan, so balloting, you call ballot paper, so Alan da ho, Bawumia da ho. Na say, former president, your mama, the so do Kutanedom. I want you Kutanedom. It is Alan da ho, Bawumia da ho no more. Na say, Buankas and also your MPP news, also your DBU. Now I shall Bawumia and Marshall Alan, you know, Bawumia, say, why lie you? ABS kana wo ma twegu ho no no a o mo dia ma party ni mpanimfo ebia na bia sonso se bia sonso dia wo ye grassroots na se bia sonso dia because Kwabena hwe Allah ne Bawumia how say whole government machinery e support Bawumia a whole party leadership e support Bawumia so Bawumia feel say we di president egu so Akufo-Addo free say ne will a waya to one mo dia ma na busuafo no so enti no Bawumia ye the next president yeah until mo di Bawumia na be break 8 me nipa na mi suro ya Alan enti na nipa a mi hunu say e ba no we say mo 2024 contest mu a na bia mu ye de kakra e ya Alan not Bawumia. Who is Bawumia? Bawumia Kwabena Bawumia o Ghana ha. Vice President Bawumia e wo Ghana ha. Hwene to a wo kwei ensiri he me this showdown. E dey na de be this showdown. E dey na aka wo Dr. Bawumia mu a because ye wo crisis mu. Wo dey wo opportunity. Alan dey no ye trade minister but wo ye vice president. Omo na omo push u pia wo no. Kwabena say for the past maybe 6 years kwa no ma sideline wa. Omo agenda enti no mu pushu epia wo enti se Dr. Bawumia wo bibi ya omo be allow ne ne ama na ye act nanim because na enumonyam e wo fom oni enumonyam wo Ghana politics mu e na ye kasai enti sankofo no mu pia Bawumia say at all cost e wo so mu break 8 ma Bawumia be the next president after 2024 general elections no Akufo-Addo Gabi Asante be di etu Okenoforiata. This is the time omo be so ma tunipon be release no na wa kire ne bo bread obetimi aye Now one can't say what next vision after 2024 general elections. They are actually Ghana for why.
Sabe young mama.
Kwabena medical check for that. Kwabena na mama. Kwabena nyam mama one po. Not at all, not at all. But you see, I'll caution Ghanaians. Ghana for me is very careful. Na Nana Akufo-Addo any na pamfo. Sika omasesa emu de omawia ene de omunyae omudi akuku baby omopeso omobon ho ban sentiti a omudi Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia epian se by force on take over the flag bearership na omeje party ni boss no Ghana fo nyina ye den amomani nda oni nyina ye mboa commander me mom de refusal de cost nyina no Alan be ko independent to Alan aye den o as I say ye nyina no ye hwe bibie me eje the new voters upcoming youth ye nyuano ma fe no mo siso mo di 18 years omo mo nya 25 years ni 27 less than 30 years for me sromo pa the new wind of change na ebo no that change no to me no should go to His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama mama ye nyina we should not be calling to believe in say ebia call Alan who is independent because personally I wouldn't wish say a man for beji ballot paper no mbe so no mo se bia Alan da so na President Mahama so da so na man for be se o enya hwe ye de mala na be se ye de ma we a esramo de bia wuti bia no President Mahama ebe ye president a enyoma ahwe Ghana fo enyoma President Akufo-Addo ene na pamfo na busuafo Japade o ma yagu ho ne wele o ma nyina obi oba be die nyina no ye nyina be type President Mahama chi na waje sa ne ma no e de ma Ghana fo enti message say ye papa Alan within the MPP party no enyoma koso eye ni bresam
Time be na wo ja MPP.
oh me dem somewhere 2016 de na me MPP
2016
16
oh okay
Ene o ja ya che.
na say no free mu ache
2016 na
okay so after second contest no aye buruburu mu no anyo
oh say me nya list road say ya me nya list ka 2014 no o ko to say so bogoso
Bogoso.
go for the match we ko tie bogoso
Already we see now. I think that he reminds me of one of my political bad days. Now, Akufo-Addo num ne Kennedy Japan num a organize ya kokun Mahama Adams. Ya enunti enam soma Gregory Afoko o mache na to afiase. For no offense, Greg is innocent and is still innocent before the law. Enti omo yes had the no, now they wanted to give Paul Afoko a bad name to hang him. Because at that time he was the chairman and now he had a clash with Mahama Adams at their instance. And I'm so Mahama Adams.
Yeah, me pa mami adwuma bi mra sesia. Okay. Dr. Richard Amakuba, a former political science lecturer and a lady member of the MPP. Offer my high.
What I want to say.
Boko offer. Offer na unya Alan ena wasi kwa so no oso wajai mo party no or co independent.
Yeah. Ana no be ne be party no adane coach odi awam. Ana na coach na your friends referee in America. The referee na you choose awam no be dia. You don't lose the game baby. Because I understand I could not forfeit the game. Honestly. I don't know.
No, but offer say dey we iba. Say Alan Besa.
Oh, you know that come up before. That they complaining about Kofono party Kofono. No more there. I said the plan. The political plan because okay, this kind of you know can want some. And so I'm going to say, I'm not going to train on the gyro. And I said, I'm going to do it. But it's a young one. Now, that is more against him. Also, I'm going to say, and then I hear the strongest candidate, which is a challenge before I'm president from the government.
But what support to me and say uncle?
Oh, you say they say that. I said, what guy politics to cry because you penny. And now I say, I see difficult times deserve difficult solutions. And anything why you know, can you say no penny? A party or count no formal in a working. Because I'm a Mukra party, no, I'm kind of correct. Yeah, but too much. And he was in India, but you know, there, grass of war party said a first second. Yeah, you will be any. And he, baby, our fan, heading on the back.
Of Rosa, Yanka, on in Beko.
I'm here, I'll tell you, that's the one I not
Over Union Frose, Adiana Cosono, Monqua, on in Beko.
Oh, sir. They are open to all possibilities. Now, so I don't know to me cancer. The entrance is about one of the best people I'm over to.
Doc, over. Say, I'm Caso Casa and Tumampoa. A quite be asked me about Besra. Over Obia catch them say, O Cocrada. Over. Obia catch us all caught that.
Well,
Marty, over, yeah, that's me, yeah, that's me. Dr. Makoba, listen to him say Dr.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, Party Negu, MPP Egu.
How?
No, it's destroyed. And look, beyond the Akufo-Addo party, no, Allah will give its membership some hope. Say, let's all reunite behind him. And Party Negu, it will never have any resuscitation. Nothing can work it out. Nothing. Egu.
Are you sure?
I'm telling you. Yeah.
No, but would you say Alan bet me alpha domo free party market
at any point of you see at the time MPP eto Abama Akufo-Addo no senka grassroots fo nyina omo party nim and eto aba between Akufo-Addo ne Alana and Alan Berry ni.
Oh yeah, I believe
now until we dey hwe Akufo-Addo mpo enko Alan Berry ni ana ba omia we you are no my way tebe spa mun tebe wow boss crab Alan has the grassroots. That is why Akufo-Addo at all times has made sure say e was say omo to abayi kandifo no eye ne nkofo enu ti we grassroots ni na onya ne nkofo a na wo say for example persons that were MPs they had risen through the ranks to become members of parliament on the ticket of MPP just because of their affiliation or closeness with Alan or relationship with Alan no Akufo-Addo made sure say be you omadi. Today, some of them have been cowed to suppression to the point that and then or sorry, or feel say it's either I join my enemy to survive, or if I couldn't beat them, let me join them. You understand? So, Alan has done idea. It is going to be an indelible scar which can never be erased in the history of the New Patriotic Party. And you see, even beyond the party, Alan has made a point, say, sir, I'm actually the nyum na obono. Ebenya interpretation, papa. In some yina nyamia sem, ye you baby ya, ko baby. Alan ko. Say, the old told the old trio, ni rasi wana ton biem. Oko, asa. Kobra Alan in Akufo-Addo kum nipa bebre. Bebre.
Kum nipa o.
Wakum nipa.
Wama
binum neme no ka say wama bobo adam ebinum asofa yare a wama ya fa nwo mo
okay
Alan ntio Alan party wo Akufo-Addo kura party kura po na wonka ho no wonka ho. I'm telling you the truth. No wonka ho party ni yatie no because of the 79 experience no womo ano mo free UNC ba no na eni kwase age omo na Victor Usu of blessed memory on enam ne nsa so party ye wo no ne doba ni Dr. Nane me so me papa Kwabena, at the time, I remember the night before we were able to convince Ochiamia Koto. As at that time, I was a toddler. I was just like an errands boy. Yes, Masumami. And you know, I have known the party from its inception. Akufo-Addo was not part of us. It was at a hint. And the man said he wants to be part of the formation. That's how come he became our organizer. You understand? He printed the first T-shirt. Yes, I acknowledge that. What do I say? But this is somebody who has always, at every instance of the course of the MPP, you know, shown a direct opposite of behaviors that are tolerable in the party. His nature is not typical of a human. This party in the history from the time immemorial, yes, we had flaws. Some of our great grandparents, forebears committed bad atrocities to this country and leadership in the days of old. But the MPP was almost like a new born baby, like a Bible, a biblical allusion of a born again. What am I say? Sebi, a woman say, but that for any damn cockra, kakra, and coladi, a bewo. Now, so no, this political party MPP, no, by any stretch of imagination, or be beer no wagon, a beer who say, where an MD4 party, and yet to trap for party. Until Akufo-Addo became the flag bearer of the party. Kwabena, this is a party. So saw your member crack a crana. Kwabena, one will be the better. I'm a commander in the Pakro. Because people believed in the party and its ideals. Our ideology. Yeah, they say, Kebi Mamin Kebi. And don't you know why must it get to a point? And what's there? A party, yes, you're afraid of for democracy. Yes, any democracy. Abaya Kwama Rollins. I want pay democracy. Who said democracy so on fast. I'm our no now. I want pay democracy. No, and they were lifted the political ban. What must I say? I say, and they multi-party democracy. We fought for it. We believe we fought for it. What must I say? Then Akufo-Addo becomes its flag bearer. Then the nonsense that we discussed of Rollins is getting worse in that party. We need Jimmy for our party. Look, you don't have to. Me, Alan. You see, Alan has kept so long staying within the den of fools. He has stayed so long. Look, this has been my plight for years. Because I was not seeing any sign. I wasn't seeing any light at the end of the tunnel. There was nothing to show, sir. Akufo-Addo way better than again. I didn't know Juma. I damn what damn. We are not here. What's the son of a man in your da? Eti what? Now, do you match? Not 2016. When you say at that time, John Mahama had gone through the toil to make sure your light are not a higher drain. What yaba? And you may cause we were seeing progress in 2016. All of a sudden, Alan say, Wakwakwa joined Akufo-Addo campaign to campaign against John Mahama, who was building a strong and robust country. For the first time, look, America is America because of only two things: infrastructure and systems.
Infrastructure evolution.
What was it? Yeah. And John Mahama said, no, you can't build any system without an infrastructure. So let me begin with the infrastructure. So he went back to the books of a champion to make sure, sir, he gets it right. In the course of that, Alan say, me hope Akufo-Addo only credibility because Akufo-Addo had lost his credibility. As at 2016, nobody believed in him. He was a riffraff. Nobody enjoyed his company. Everyone knew that, but for Alan, Akufo-Addo would never have been president. Everyone knew it. It was Alan that was driving the campaign virtually. Almost everything that was done in the MPP was because Alan had come back and Alan had given the party a resuscitation.
Anyway,
then all of a sudden, you win an election, you become president. You heard him say he was given a position but very limited budget. How can you tell me, say,
Me ya Alanche Martin. My trade minister and Akufo. I know what trade means. Then you Akufo who knows next to nothing to trade, to industry. You make me the trade minister. Then the next moment, what business development ministry? What about them?
He cut off the wings of
what the agencies in your year finance?
But then I will say.
For example, one district, one factory. Would you come gift to Kule to born way? Or only my dear friend, one district, one factory.
I think that at that point,
so he kept so long in the party.
Yes, but you see, for me, I think even for Alan. The position was on
very needless. I fought it.
You see, I've been speaking about this. Well, President Kofoni Elite Club I've been saying this. I've been telling them, say now. Mr. Chamantin made a very big mistake. Say, I didn't know who bought Nana Akufo-Addo. What do you say? Paul Afoko can say me. I'm least one man can say me. Look at the investment at Paul Mbuya Alanichi. Tama, ye hondi Polafuku.
Yeah.
Kwabe Japan is a club. Listen, as someone come here, Kabum where we ended. We were nearly lynched. 2014. We were nearly lynched. Do you get it? That time, you know, Allah should have known, say no. These are wicked crop of people. Kwabena, Obakaya 2016, we produced a documentary about the brutalities of Akufo-Addo within the MPP. Within the MPP,
you still have the video.
The documentary is there.
You have the video.
The primary one, the editor, everything is there. It is there. The brutalities unleashed by Nana Akufo-Addo in the MPP.
Wow, party for.
And then Ebima Yare for Ebima Didam, Ebima Wu.
Nana Kwame yes we. Oh Nana Kwame.
Yes, Nana Kwame. The documentary is there. Nana Kwame document you know. Medeba no show. You don't get it. Very, very wickedness.
Nana Kwame. Nana Kwame didn't go hospital.
Nana Kwame go hospital.
Document you know. Nana Kwame you quoted 37 now. I'm going in for about 2 or I'm telling me what say. At this point in time, when I see Ben say, the documentary is there. Video by the Akufo-Addo boys and then by Akufo because of Alan Yanti. And now Kwame ne ebi omunyo mo dem. Etinu nanka Alan just could tread cautiously. Say no. Sa grounds we say no. Je Akufo di kan ka say opani bi ba Ghana fo anhwe ye ontimi come ani mbom. Soldier fo njini ndi, police fo njini ndi, ahemfo njini ndi. Obese o man no na Ghana fo nyina ye den. Omunya ka for sani pa no ho. It is sani pa we ne wetime yini aba. Alan should have tread cautious but one ye no fi so me kwa una obenti no se me dem ho bowa e de automatically kwa me na mabede ma be show onim Akufo-Addo ni team very wicked se na me list to describe no se wo di Satan gina ha sei na da Akufo-Addo gina ha na ka kire nkola so mo nche Satan a o metrom se na do so because na do there Kwabena ono ya finish him destroy him go after him anya ni din within the party no more dey go for
no but baby enya make kakono it seems Akufo-Addo and his family now they will be more desperate, they will be stealing than before. They would because they say no on make charge to mine
Kwabena no Ghana for am kwan
ensi
Kwabena ensi because it's a route and one obi ani obi one for ni abro Kwabena and commander and me no ka say wow do am fire ward no
Akufo-Addo dey nzaguniti
do am fire ward no and yenya ye bomb pie say
this is the first time Akufo-Addo osu obesu
it never happened and
he has always known Alan as Obia onim nyansa oye Jimmy oye pop no I'm saying that is how Akufo-Addo thinks. That is how Akufo-Addo thinks of Alan.
No, sir.
Want it, Debbie? Mama, Debbie, want to bobo. Mummy and Nunko money in there. Yeah, the name of Cass until Debbie.
I then on Akufo-Addo.
Well, Cass, she was say, a day.